Ah, hello. So, hi everyone. Good evening, all. I hope my voice is audible and the screen is also visible. So, we'll get started. So, you all know about today we're having this evening is all about online session. So, why we have conducted, why we have just scheduled this online or live meeting itself? Because we are here to give you the tips and strategies about how to crack the question and build the programming in Codevita. So you all know about that. Whoever joined in this live class, you know about that. You're already registered TCS Codevita. Am I correct? And so in this live session, we are going to solve few questions which was already asked in the previous year, TCS Codevita. Got it? So without wasting our time, let's get started the session. And before starting the session, let me introduce myself. My name is Vikram, a technical mentor from Facebook. Today, the next 1 hour, we are going to discuss and we are going to solve the questions which was asked in the previous year's TCS program. Before getting into it, just know about a few things or know about information about the TCS program. So I hope everybody knows about TCS program. Am I correct? So what are things you have to be concentrated when you're attending the TCS program? So the first thing is it is a global programming competition designed to identify top coders around the world. And it is a world largest programming contest with registration from 98 countries. And you have to know the eligibility criteria. And students who have not registered this code with the competition, so you can find the link in the description. So once again, I will repeat the students whoever attended this live session and whoever not registered at to the code Vita, so please you can find the link in the description. Got it? And the eligibility criteria is students in any stream of science or engineering and expecting to complete their course in the year of 2025, 2026, 2027, or 2028. Okay, and you all know this. This is the one of the competition. It is happening across the world and from 98 countries. And you can see top coders or whoever the eligibility, whoever comes under the eligibility criteria, those can participate in this TCS Codevita. And mostly you have to know only one thing is how to solve this question and how to quickly crack the logic and building the program. Why? Because in each and every round you have a different type of questions will be there. So basically three rounds will be conducted: three qualifier, and the final eight. So three rounds will be conducted. So mostly you have to concentrate on number of questions and the timing. And here how to solve it. That's a very important thing. Okay. The first thing is you have to be strong on data structure and algorithms. This is where this concept is very must. It's not only in the TCS code, but if you're trying to attend any placement drive, so data structure algorithm is must. And before learning the data structure algorithm, which is very important, the basic, which is called as fundamentals and programming. Okay, and one more thing, full stack development projects. And for TCS code, because we don't have any test on aptitude you don't have any interview selection here, right? So it's completely on test manner. Am I correct? So totally three rounds: pre-qualified, qualified, final. In a pre-qualified, you have a six questions, 6 hours, and qualified, you have eight questions, 8 hours. And the final, 10 questions and 10 hours. Totally, how many hours you have a test? 24 hours. So it's a 24 hours test. So whenever you have a free time, you can take this test and you can attend and you submit the test. That's not been an issue, but 24 hours you have to be working on it. Okay, and the important topics you have to cover it's nothing but strong coding fundamental and good programming skills and strong command over DSA. So we can say that you have to be strong at 3D algorithm, static cube, mapping concepts, array manipulation, string manipulation, trees, trees, the binary search tree, alien tree, and dynamic programming, and the last one is backtracking. So totally, I have said nine concepts I have said. So you have to be strong among all the nine concepts. Okay, and in a pre-qualifier, so 3 to 4 questions if you complete, you're eligible to attend the TCS Ninja, and 5 questions if you complete, you're eligible to attend TCS Digital. If you have a 6 questions completed, you are eligible to attend TCS Prep. This is how you have and you have a add-on, you have advantages, nothing, but you have, you can also, if you clear those questions, you have an opportunity to attend any one of the TCS trial and know it because it can be a million of students, million of people can attend this drive, lakhs of people can attend and register this drive. So know this. So from if it is happening in your campus, how the shortlist will happen. The same way, right? If here the question level you have to be thinking about it. Definitely, it won't be an easy level question, but it is not to the advanced level question. Like it's not to the hard level question. It's a medium, but it has a critical logic skills. So you have to use the critical logic skills to crack the question and understand the logic, and then get into uh, building up your programs. Okay. So let me solve the first question now. So now we having the first question is called matrix rotation. Okay, so in this matrix rotation, what do you do? Because if you see matrix rotation, we know that rotation means 90 degree, 180 degree, 270 degree, 450 degree, 360 degree. Like this, we have a degree of rotations. But if it is 90 degree, that question looks very easy. Okay? So they will take a simple question, but they will add on more logics. Got it? So try to understand this question. I mean, I didn't explain the complete question. I'm just saying you that what is the expectation of code data? It's a simple question. The name itself we can easily understand, but the logics, the constraints, or we can say steps, something is included that the user or the programmer has to follow to satisfy all the test cases, including the visible and the hidden test case. Is that clear? Okay. So we'll just check it once. Okay, so first let me read this question properly and then I'll just explain you how it is working and it's working. Accordingly, you can also follow my instruction. Please take the notes and just go with what I can say. Please have a note, whatever points I'm saying, note down. That may be useful because if you are completing this session, definitely you have to learn something at the end of the session. Okay, so know this. So whatever doubts you have, please feel free to post your doubts in the chat box. And it's a live chat is available, and I'm there to rectify or solve your queries. Okay, so so you are given a square matrix of dimension n. Let this matrix be called A. So you have a square matrix. That is the dimension is denoted as A, which means we can say dimension n means it's nothing but size. Okay, so I'll just encircle that word. It's nothing but n. So it's nothing but size. That size is nothing but row and column. If it is matrix, the size of row and column should be equal. Am I correct? And then let this matrix be called A. And that matrix is called as A. So the variable here, it is the A is representing the array variable. Your task is to rotate A in clockwise direction by S degree, which means for each turn the degree may changes. They didn't say that, but the direction is what is the fixed direction? It's a clockwise direction. It is not turning to anti-clockwise. It is only just turning in a clockwise direction by S degree. So which means for every turn the degree may changes. If it is 90 degree, we have to change it for one time. If it is 180 degree, we have to turn it for two times. 270 means three times. That is how we have to understand here. Where S is the angle of rotation. Is it clear? So see here totally we have read the three variables. M is size of the array and A is nothing but it's a array variable. I will store the array and S is nothing but it's a degree. On the matrix, there will be three types of operation. So only three types of operations we have to do. The first one is rotation. So we can take it as R. So R means rotation and we can take Q. But let me see how it will be represented. Rotate the matrix A. So we can simply take it as A variant. Okay, if it is A means we have to rotate. Let me take if it is A means we have to rotate. And if it is Q means we have to the query will be given. Basically, in our array, what would be your query? So there is a word mentioned like query, which means what we have to check. So they will be asking what is the element present in the respective row and column position. For example, if we have 3 cross 3 matrix, my query is return the element in 0, comma 1. Print the element in the index position of 1 comma 2. So that 1 comma 2, 1 comma 1. So they are pointing, the query is on index position. So you have to return the respective element which is present in the index position. That will be your query. Okay, got it. And third one is the updation. So coming to the updation part, we can take U is the updation. So, but how as a user, how as a user tell to the computer, tell to the compiler, do these three steps because we have to take some common character here. A means rotate. Q means query, U means update, like this. I'm just thinking here. I'm not sure about that. What would be given in the next slide? But as of now, and for your understanding, I'm just taking as a character to do, taking a three different characters to do these three steps. And in the updation, you have to update the element at row X and column Y with value inside. So totally three things will be given X and Y. X represents the row and Y represents the column and Z represents the value. So in that value, we have to update. Update in the sense, we have to remove the previous value, we have to insert this new value in the given index position. So presented as input in form of U, X, Y, Z. See here how they given. So U, X, Y, Z. U is for pointing that updation step, and X is the row index position, Y is the column index position, and Z is the value should be placed in the X and Y uh, position and print the output of individual operation as specified in output specification. So we can see the constraint n is nothing but size of the array. The size of the array should be greater than equal to 1 and it should be less than equal to 1000. In some time your hidden cases will not be passed. That time make sure that if the constraint is given, you have to give the size. Sometime in some other test cases, the n value will be greater than 1000. That time you have to print what they have said. So if it is exceeding the constraint or your following program fail the constraint presents, what would be the else part we have to print? That you have to learn, or else if it is not given, you can go with the trial and error method. Just keep on giving some values. Sometime it may pass. Like -1, no, not an invalid input. Likewise, we have learned many things. Okay, so -1, invalid input, or not a proper input. Likewise, we have learned many things in the basics which you have already worked in HackerRank and the lead code. So follow that for your code data. You need good and proper practice. So please solve more questions in lead code. That may help you to grab the TCS Codevita question in your less time. Else it will take too much of time or you can't able to solve the question. A simple question also. So practice it's required now. Now, so you can see an A, J, it's nothing but A of I and J, it's denoting the elements present in there. That is also the numbers also should be less than equal to 1000. And S represents the rotation. Rotation should be less than equal to 1,60,000. Yes, it should be greater than or equal to 0. And K value and L value and what is meant by K and L? K and L is your query row position. L is your query column position. And Q value, what is meant by Q? It's nothing but your query. So how many queries? The size of the query should be 1 lakh, from 1 to 1 lakh. This is the things. So we'll check. We'll just go for the next one, which means the next slide we can check it out. We'll see how it's going to work. So now we can check the test cases. So the input format and the output format. So input will consist of three parts. So size of the matrix itself, A equal to M into N, and then the various operations on the matrix. One operation on each line, beginning either with A, Q, or U. A minus one will represent end of input. So here it's nothing but only the third case we have to check it because the three steps will be happened until the user getting the minus one. So you all know a linked list, right? Until the user press minus one, it will keep on take the inputs, right? The same out here. The third step tells that we will begin either A, Q, or U and keep on doing it. When the user get minus one, that time you have to stop this process. It has to stop taking the inputs at the runtime and the program is also done. Got it? So, and note, angle of rotation will always be multiplies of 90-degree only. All update operations happen only on the initial matrix. After update, all the previous rotations have to be applied on the updated matrix. So this is the main and important notes. Please take the notes. All update operations happen only on the initial matrix. So if you're going to update, so U represents update, right? So A represents rotate, Q represents query, and U represents update. When you're updating anything in the uh, matrix, make sure that should be in an initial matrix, and then you have to do all the updation. You're not supposed to go with the new matrix, which means your initial matrix will be keep on rotated by the degree. So once after a few rotation, if you're getting an update, you are not supposed to do the update with the current matrix, right? Because the current matrix is not initiate, got rotation. So you have to go back to the initial matrix and you have to do the update. So this is the main important. And output format is whatever your query is asking that you have to print it. That's it. So output sounds very, very easy, but now we have to start coding it. So let me see, and we can see test cases and let me explain you that. So you can see the test cases. So two. Two, what is mean by two? The first input is yet. So let me take this one. So just 1 minute. I can go with the inputs and I will explain you that how this is working and everything. Okay. So we'll just go with this. So two means nothing but size, a size of the array. And this is your matrix. Okay. So it is 1 comma 2 and it's 3 comma 4 is your matrix. So 2 cross 2 matrix. And then you have a followed by you have a the queries and the rotate and everything will be there. So we have the steps and we have to follow it. The first thing is nothing but A. So what is mean by A? So we have to rotate. So what is the rotation? It's 90. Am I correct? We have to rotate as 90 degree. So this will be immediately rotated to 90 degree. So that should be in a clockwise direction. So 90 degree, it's a clockwise direction, which means 3, 1, and 4, 2. This is the clockwise direction. Am I correct? Now again, if now next one is Q. If it is Q, what to do? So you have to print it. So in the output statement, it's clearly said that you have to print at the time of query, right? So we can check it. So now the query is 1 comma 1. So what is 1 comma 1 index question? So we know that the array will start from 0 and it will end from n minus 1. But here you can see the size is 2 cross 2. But in the next query they have asked 2. So if it is 2 means it's out of the bound, right? But here how they consider means the row is not started from 0. The row was started from 1. Okay, so that's case. What is 1 comma 1 position? The 1 comma 1 position is nothing but what is the 1 comma 1 position? The 1 comma 1 position is nothing but 3. Am I correct? So the first result for this part is nothing but 3. Okay. So next one is 1 comma 2. What is 1 comma 2 here? So 1 comma 2 is nothing but 1. So 1 comma 2 is 1. So I hope you can, everybody can understand this. The first two outputs. So when you have the query queue, you are getting selected. That time, what index position is given, that element you have to print it out. For other two queries, you are not supposed to print anything. That it's rotation and updating the arrays. That's it. Now again, it's a turn for rotation. So now again, it will be rotated to 90 degree. So again, we have to rotate to 90 degree. So if it is again this rotated, what is the position it will do down? So 4, 2, and this will be 3 and 1. Am I correct? This will becomes 3 and 1. Okay. So what is the next? It's Q1, 1. So after rotating 90 degree, now it's we have to return 1 comma 1 index position. The 1 comma 1 index position is nothing but it's 4. So the next output is 4. So is that clear? So I hope you all understand. Okay. So now again, we just continue because still a few more inputs are there. I will just take it. So just remove these parts because we have queries. Okay. I'll just remove these things. We have a updated tables handling, but this is the updated one. Okay, this is the updated one. Now next one is you. So when it is you, what to do? So immediately you have to go back to the initial place. What is the initial numbers we have? It's 1 comma 2. The initial is nothing but 1, 2, and 3, 4. This is your initial one. So when it is you, so immediately you have to go to the initial array and do the modification. So in a 1 comma 1 index position, you have to fix that 6, which is 1 comma 1 index position. So I'm going to fix in place of 1 as 6. In place of 1, I will be fixing as 6. Is that clear? Now again, what is in query 2 comma 2? So in a query 2 comma 2, we have it as 4. Is that clear? So you guys will think that it is 4. Okay. So we'll see. So we can check with that actual test cases and we can check it once. Okay. So you can see here the output is 3144. So what it is actually happening? So when you come to the U part, very simple. You have to fix this with the initial value And after the U gets updated, again go back to the place. Okay, so you have this has to be substituted in the initial step, and once it is done, now for the next query, don't take the initial one. For only for the U query, you have to take it as an initial array. When you come to the when the U query is done, the updation is done, then for the next step, go with your present things. Go with your present array. The present array is nothing but this is your present array. And in the present array, you have to modify in place of one, we change it as six, right? That has to be modified. I hope it's clear. So now for 2 comma 2, it's not 4, it is 6. So now you all understand. Yes, so I hope it's clear. So if you have any doubts, so please let me know in the chat box. Okay, so I will be seeing your live chat and I will be giving you the answer. So somebody asked that this classes happen daily basis. I'm not sure about it. Today we are connected live, but I will just check with my team and if it's going to be happen, we'll share you the link. So okay, all right. So I will just close this and immediately we'll go to the coding section. We'll just start typing the code. So even you can also try it in your compiler. Okay. So now, first thing, I'm going to use a Python because my convenient language is Python. So I'm going to write the code in a Python. So whatever is your convenient, just do only the syntax is changes. Okay. So now let's start this. So first we have to take it that n value and array and everything we have to take. First, let me create as n value. N equal to int of input. Okay. And then I'll create a list. Okay. I'm going to use the for loop for I in range of n. So I have to, you know that we have a append function. We can use append list of map of int comma input dot split. So now we'll just check that whether we got the list properly or not. So for every code you can run, you can save and compile. Like if you are using online compiler or offline compiler, check it once. Then you know it is working or not actually. Okay. So it's okay. So I'm just getting a list properly. So I'll just remove this print. So for every 5 lines or 10 lines, you just please compile and check. Then only you know whatever errors is there or not, right? So and then I'm going to create a initial array. Okay. Let me take it as initial as a value and I'll store that list. Okay, let me check with the initial will be getting the same thing or not. Because every time you have to check it, otherwise you will be getting. So here you can see initial spelling is yeah. So initial spelling mistake. And more than that, we can check it. So we have the same array. So I just stored initial equal to L. Okay. So why? Because when we having a the query as update, that time you have to modify with the you have to update that new element with the initial matrix, right? For that purpose, I have created a separate list called initial. I just created duplicate that will be used when the query is new. Otherwise, it will not be disturbed. Okay. So next, I'm going to create a variables. The first variable I have to create A. So why I created a A? So that you have to know why, because otherwise it's very complicated to, if I create more variables without giving any explanation, you guys will not understand it. So I'm going to create a A. Why? Because A is the accumulative rotation. So this will calculate the exact rotations for the purpose. And I'm going to create a result. The result, I'll tell you that why I'm creating this variable. And then R, C. So R and C, you know that for to know the index position of row and column, because in the Q and U, the two inputs will be provided that will be taken with the help of RNC. For that purpose, I am can just created RNC. Is it clear? So now, after creating this, so a result, I will tell you that what I'm going to exactly store in it. Okay, in a result, I will store the degree, which means how many degrees are left, or how many rotations I have to do. If it is 90-degree means 90 divided by 90, I have to do only one rotation. If it is 180 means two rotations. Those results will be stored in the RES. Okay. So A is for accumulator rotation. The RES variable is for how many rotations I have to do. And RNC is nothing but it's a row and column positions, which going to be used in Q query and U query. Now, I will just start giving the while loop. So in the while, I'm just making as true. So I will put it as true. So why I given as true means this has to work until the user receives -1. If the once the user get -1, so you have to stop the process. So I don't know that when I will receive -1. Either I can receive the next two steps or 5 steps, 10 steps, 20 steps. I'm not sure about that. So you all know the difference of while and for, right? So while, so if the user doesn't know the iteration when it may stop, so in that case we will use while. The same thing I have followed here. I just created a while and I'm creating a variable called choice. Okay, in the choice, I'll be taking the first input. So you can see the first input is A and 90. So in the A and 90, it's a two inputs. So if you are using what I can say, string or C++, sorry, Java, C++, or C, it is very easy to read these inputs. But coming to Python, we can't just read separately because the input is the function. It will read the complete line, even if you have a spaces between the word or not. It will not check. It will read the complete line along with the space. So if I give input, this will read A and 20 as a string and it will put it in the choice, and zeroth index position is A, first index position is white space, and second index position is 19. So this is very important thing. Okay. So instead of that, what I will do, I'll just do the type conversion. So immediately I will use the split method, and now this choice will become list. So how we can say a character array, a string arrays, we can say that is how it will be converted. So using a split method. And then I'm going to check the first condition. So now this choice is a list. So I'll just comment here because then you can easily understand it's a list. If it is list, we can access using the index positions, right? So I'm going to access if the choice of zeroth index position, if it is equal to A. Okay, the choice of zeroth index position is A, what to do? Okay, and then otherwise I'll go to the elif part again. I'll check if that choice of 0 is equal to Q. So we can give in a double quotes, and again I'll go and again I'll give next elif condition. This elif condition is for checking when your choice of 0, it's U, capital U's, because your queries are in a capital letter. I'm following the same thing. Okay, if none of the choice gets you, then what to do? In the else part, if none of the choice is not true, mean definitely the choice will become -1. That time I will break this looping state. Is that clear? So finally, the break will happen here when the user reads the -1 at the runtime, and then this break function will stop your looping statement. So that time your program will come to the end. Okay. So now we can do it now. So first we'll just start filling everything. So if the choice is zero, how many inputs we are having in a choice? Zero index position A and first index position is 90. So that I'm going to take it out. So I'm going to apply the rotation. Okay. I'll just mention I'm going to apply rotation. So I will create degree as a variable because 90 is a degree, so DEG. So degree, like degree is a variable. I just create, I will create as degree equal to. I will read that particular thing. I'm going to do the type conversion int of choice one. Okay, so now that 90 will be converted to integer. And next step, what to do? I have to check how many times I have to rotate because if it is 90, one time. If it is 180 means two times. Likewise, depends on the degree, I have to do the rotation. That I'm going to store it in the result as a variable. In the results, degree, and I'm going to divide by 90. And that result will be modulo 4. Is it clear? So first it will do a degree modulo 90. And that portion part will be taken. I'm going to find the remainder. If it is 180 means 180 divided by 90, the quotient is 2. 2 modulo 4, the remainder is 2. Then how many times I have to do the rotation? 2 times I have to do the 90 rotation. Then I am going to achieve 180-degree rotation. So that going to happen here. And then I have already created a variable. A is nothing but accumulated rotation. I have to count that. When this accumulate rotation has to be happen means when it has to happen means it has to do once that update query gets over, we have to do that rotation. For that purpose only, I'm going to do. So A equal to, so the thing is A plus results and modulo divide it's modulo 4. So this will do accumulate the number of rotations. This part is over. So now next thing is we have to do the rotation. So in the while condition, the result having the number of rotation, I'll do, and I'm going to create a user-defined method called rotate matrix. I'm going to name like I still I didn't create the user-defined method, but I'm going to name it here. Otherwise, it will confuse you. So my the fixed name is nothing but rotate matrix. I'm going to create and I'm going to have only one argument pass. It's nothing but n. So argument list is going to be n. So I'm going to only pass the size. Using the size, I will going to do the rotations. Okay. For every iteration of I have to decrement this result minus equal to 1. So that's all about this if condition. Okay, so we'll just go with the elif part. So in the I'll just give a space, then it will be easy you to understand it. In the elif part, if might be, if your input is q, okay, if might be, if your input is q, so what to do? So totally two datas are having the next time. So I'm going to take r equal to, I'm going to do the type conversion because choice of zero is your, choice of zero is your query and choice of first and second point index position is your the index position of your matrix. So int of choice of one and again column equal to int of choice of true. Now we all know that when your query is Q, you have to print it. And we know that the R and C values are starting with row one, so that we have to decrement to row zero. Then only we'll get the expected output. So that I'm going to call now. So L of R minus one and C minus one. That's it. So, do you have any doubts up to here? I hope you don't have any doubts. So, still few more steps to uh, execute this. Now, we'll just go for the U query. If it is U query, you have the length of the listed choices 4. So, the zeroth index position is for U, and remaining three index position is for row, column, and value. First, let me take it that row int of choice of 1, and again column equal to int of choice of 2. Sorry. Okay. And then we have to take the values. So I'm going to create the name called new value. That is new is nothing but new value. So int of choice of 3. Okay. So let me do that. So now you have to reset to the initial value and then you have to submit here. So let me take LD equal to initial. So first step, reset to initial state and update the value. Okay, I'll just mark it here also. So as this is the important note they have given, reset the initial state and update the value. Okay, so sounds good. Next is nothing but after resetting, now it's your turn to update it. So L of R minus 1 and C minus 1 equal to mu V. So we have updated. So once it is updated, you have to apply the stored rotation. That is said to be the A times. So in a year, you will be happen for everything will be changed, right? Then you have to go back from initial. Then again you have to go back. That is happening now. Okay. So now again you have to go for the accumulated rotation step to be 8 times you have to do. So for that again I'm going to write while or I will take one more variable called rotations to apply. This is my variable name, rotations to apply. I'm just transferring the A value to that because you're not supposed to reduce that A. It's accumulated, right? It should be constant. You're not supposed to reduce. If you reduce that for next time, you will not be getting a proper thing, right? Whenever you're having a Q. So whenever you're having a U query. Okay. So now we'll just go with the Y again, rotations to apply. Now, again, we have to call that rotate matrix method and I will pass n. It has to work for the data. Method, I will copy paste this name. I will decrement that. Minus equal to 1. So it has to be decremented. So that's it. So we'll just check if we have any errors or not. Yeah, we have errors is nothing but rotate matrix is not defined. So that let me get creating that. So where I'm going to create means I'm going to create you look here. Okay. So I'm going to create here because I have to access this L value for that. So for that purpose, I'm going to create here. The method name is def. The return type is def, and the method name is nothing but rotates matrix. So only one argument pass, that is your n value, or better, I will take it like capital N because then you won't have a confusion. So matrix. So capital N will be taken. And first, it's very thin, 19 rotation only ought to do the clockwise. So for how many turns that will be decided by the inner for loop. Okay. We don't worry about it. So let's do it. So I'm going to create a for loop for I in a range of, you all know 90 rotation that you can directly write 0 comma capital N double slash 2. So this is for you know this the 5 steps the swapping method, right? That I'm going to do it now. For j in range of I comma n minus I minus 1. For every time I value will be changes, yeah, I'm going to take the particular terms and I'm going to swap this here. Okay. So inside this, I'm going to create a temporary variable. First, I'll take list of I and j. Again, list of everything you have to swap it. See, actually, this 5 step process, we are changing that particular data. So it's 3 cross 3, but 3 and 3 has to be fixed. 2 and 2 has to be in. For changing that 5 steps approach is important. So and L of n minus 1 minus j and I. The opposite characters will be swapped. And L of n minus 1 minus j of I equal to L of n minus 1 minus I, again n minus 1 minus j, and the fourth step is L of n minus 1 minus I, again n minus 1 minus j. It's equal L of j, L of n minus 1 minus I, L of j of n minus 1 minus I equal to 10. That's it. This is a small process we have. So this is used to rotate the matrix, and this is the initial steps we have taken. N value is the size, and list we created, and then we have taken the complete list in the variable L. And I stored in the initial. This initial array list will be used only when your query is U. Okay, when your query is U. Okay, and rotate matrix is created. Everything is done because we got the error is nothing but rotate matrix is not defined. Now it is defined. So we got 7 out of 10 hidden test cases passed. Second case is not passed, so might be there's some any bug it would be there. So we have to rectify this. So and then only we it will be true. So what I'm going to do, the thing is whenever I change this capital N to small n, I'm not know whether it will giving any error or not. No, when I do the changes, even there is also not a error. So when we are copying this might be it has some errors. It's not a error. It is not properly doing the copy because it's a debt. Why? Because the size of the array is smaller. a greater than or largest, whatever it is. But even though it has to store it has to copy or it has to create that clone properly. If it is not creating the duplicates properly, definitely you can't fix the data. Even initial equal to L or in this place, when we are doing L equal to initial, maybe in these two places it may have any issues. Why? Because Python is completely having a predefined methods. If you're not using, it will take it as a bug because it will not do properly. Because the predefined functions are more faster than user-defined functions in a Python. I'm talking about only Python. So, if you're not using, if you're manually doing it, this will not take it in a proper way. Seriously, I'm not saying any lie. Definitely, this is because of we are not using user predefined method. If I use predefined method, we have to check it once whether we are getting it properly or not. So, what I'm going to do to copy this, we have a copy method in my list. But instead of that, I'm going to use a copy library here. So for copy library, I'm going to import that library name called copy. So import copy. Let me check is it existed or not in this Python 3 version. Yes, it is existed. So now I'm going to use that. In a copy, you have a two different methods are there. One is copy and deep copy. So I'll just mention here. You know that a shallow copy and deep copy and all you know, right? If you are doing a shallow copy, the method name is nothing but it's copy. Okay. And if you do the deep copy, the method name is nothing but deep copy is the method name. And C should be smaller. These are the two methods are available in this library. I'm going to call that. So what I will do here, you have to use that library name dot deep copy. Let me check. I'm not sure, even though I'm just trying. It's all about trying. No more methods. We are using a Python. Yes. So we got all the test cases passed. Because of that places you have this. So you all understand. So why I done this? Even though if I copy this, if I cut this, I'll go L here and I'll try it here because trying is the best thing. I'll try it. Place where that is like okay. I'll try it here. I'll go with the image here. Even though we have to check. No, here we don't have any bugs. In this place, it's taking perfectly. It is not affecting anymore. But coming to this point, yes, it is getting affected. So to avoid that, the method name is deep copy, which is available in the copy library, and pass your list inside the argument pass of deep copy method, and just run this. Your all test cases will be passed. So I hope you guys all understand how to solve this question. Even the matrix rotation sounds very easy, but coming to the constraints and everything, you can see the main important thing what they have kept here. If you are using a Python, no more method. That is the advantage of learning Python. That's the reason it's very user friendly. Okay, and it's very simple language. If you're not knowing the predefined methods and you're just going with it's possible to get user defense. Sometimes these kind of bugs may not allow your test cases to be passed. This may happen in your competition, your competitive coding. So be prepared for your TCS Codevita well. And my best wishes for everybody who have joined to this live coding session. And a few more live sessions also there. It will be scheduled on future, and that will be I notified you later in the WhatsApp group. So thank you all for joining this. I hope this session gives you the better understanding about how to crack, how to understand the logic in each and every problem statement. and how to code it and how to pass all the visible and intent test cases. And even though if the test cases are not passed, how just patiently you have to solve and you have to remember everything and you have to solve it. Okay. So thank you all. And once again, good evening all and thank you all. Bye. I will just meet in the next live session. Thank you.